So after heckling Joe Biden during Tuesday night's State of the Union address, yelling out when Joe Biden was literally talking about his son that died, Lauren Boebert yelling out, in the aftermath of that, she sort of like got a hero's welcome in a lot of different places. And she was interviewed by Turning Point USA's Charlie Kirk. Now, if you don't know Charlie Kirk and you don't know Turning Point, I envy you. But in all seriousness, it's a very well-funded organization that is pulling in young people to radical right ideology, and they do it very, very effectively. Charlie Kirk interviewed Lauren Boebert, and she defended her actions, saying, listen, I was very caught up in the emotion because I am so worried about the troops that died under Joe Biden. Take a look.
And so I think you wore a Drill Baby Drill shirt as well yesterday. And a lot of the State of the Union is theater. So now I got to ask you, Congresswoman, because we've been receiving a lot of emails and some of our listeners are divided. I think you could probably see part of why they're divided, because we really went after Nancy Pelosi when she tore the speech. We said, have some respect for the president. What do you have to say for people that say, hey, look, I'm with you, Congresswoman, but maybe you shouldn't interrupt the president at the State of the Union? What's your thought on that?
First of all, I was really caught up in the emotions of it.
Right. So right off the bat, she basically is saying it's like a moral get out of jail free card. It was a moment of passion. It's sort of like you killed someone. Well, it was a crime of passion. I wasn't thinking. She was so caught up in the emotion that that's supposed to be like a blanket exculpation for what she did.
Mentioning Afghanistan, but didn't bother to mention the 13 soldiers. He went on to something totally different. And that
totally different. Yeah, his dead son, totally different.
Really just overwhelmed me. And I couldn't help but speak out. And look, I would love to have a conversation in a better setting with him.
Right. And the way to get such a conversation is by heckling him when he talks about his son who died. And that's, Kyle Rittenhouse the other day, he said on some show, we might sue Joe Biden. He might get a letter. It's like, oh, really? Why? Well, he's like, yeah, well, I asked him to meet with me 5 times and he didn't. And it's the same type of idea here. She would like to meet with Joe Biden, but Joe Biden hasn't met with her. So she heckled him while he was talking about dead soldiers and his son who died. And now he's going to meet with you?
I would love to be able to talk to him, and maybe I'll get the chance to do that when Republicans are in the majority in 2023, and we can actually put forward my articles of impeachment for Joe Biden and have a real conversation.
Yeah, you're also not gonna have a conversation with Joe Biden if you put forward your silly articles of impeachment, which she and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been talking about now for months.
And as far as the drill baby drill goes, look, Joe Biden, he waged a war on American energy and left us in a very dangerous place. We rely on Russian energy, importing nearly 600,000 barrels of energy per day.
Now, I want to talk about this a little bit. A very popular talking point has become, we were energy independent under Joe Biden, and now we are not. The data is widely available. We cited it in our story about energy independence a couple weeks ago. For the last several years, the U.S. production of oil has matched U.S. consumption of oil. Now, you have to understand that under Biden and under Trump, even though that's the case, there is still trading going on, and we send some oil abroad and also bring some oil in. But in terms of the numbers, for several years now, we've produced as much oil as we've consumed. So the idea that Joe Biden has done any drastic thing where now we are not at that same equivalent level of production and use is just a lie. And she keeps repeating it. No one challenges it. It's not true.
When we should be energy independent and certainly energy dominant, we should be able to export energy to our allies, which is literally exporting freedom. And so I wore Drill Baby Drill on my shawl to remind the Democrats of exactly what we should be doing.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
And how we should stop funding Russia's war.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the State of the Union is kind of like making alternative points, and I think people understand that. And I'll be honest, like if I was in the audience, I don't know if I would have been able to contain myself. So I think that's a fair answer. If I had to listen to Joe Biden go on and
Charlie Kirk would have done the same thing. So there's this soft defense of the completely indefensible, and they're not going to stop. They're going to continue doing it, and unless these folks are just removed or forced to behave differently, they will continue escalating, and it's not going to change, and that shouldn't surprise anybody. Science has shown us that lowering your body temperature at night helps you sleep. I can't sleep in a hot room. That's why I love our sponsor, Chili Sleep, which makes customizable climate-controlled sleep solutions to sleep better. Their flagship products are the Uller sleep system and the Cube sleep system, which is what I have. Both are hydro-powered, temperature-controlled luxury mattress pads. You can make them as cold as 55 degrees Fahrenheit. If you wanted, you could go as hot as 115 degrees. I like the cooler option. I keep mine at 60 degrees, and it gives me a great cool night of sleep. No feeling hot, no more sweating. I'm falling asleep faster, and it pairs perfectly with Chili Sleep's weighted Chili Blanket, which keeps you cold on top, too. And for a limited time, Chili Sleep has a special offer just for my audience. Go to chilisleep.com/Pacman to learn about the exclusive discount. The link is down below.